Good morning, and welcome to Tri-Valley's 2025 graduation ceremony. Before we begin today's graduation ceremony, please note the fire exits closest to you. They may be either on the side or behind you. In the event of an emergency, please remain calm and exit in an orderly fashion. In addition, please take a moment to silence all cell phones, tablets, smartwatches, and other electronic devices that may make noises. During the ceremony, I would ask that you refrain from using any noisemakers, such as air horns. They are a disruption to the ceremony and will not be tolerated. We do, however, encourage you to enthusiastically cheer when your graduate is front and center on the stage, during the processional, and when they receive their diploma. Before we begin today's ceremony, I would like to draw your attention to the screen for a quick video your student has already viewed for some future advice from some of our youngest learners at Tri-Valley.
Hi, I'm Caleb. Always make sure to do your job. Hi, I'm Finley. Make sure you always be kind. Hello, I'm Fernando. Hello, I'm Genevieve. Make sure to always not fight. Hi, I'm Stephen. I do not fight.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Shanley.
I'm Lee.
And we think you should have fun.
Hi, I'm Ola. Always remember to be quiet in the hallway. Hi, I'm Carmen. Always remember to do your homework. Hello, I'm Lily. Before you go to school, you have to pack your bag. Hi, I'm Avery. Always remember to clean your room. Hi, I'm Iñaki. Don't push yourself to feel. Hi, my name is Isla, and never give up. Don't quit, do it!
Now, without further ado, please rise and help me welcome the class of 2025.
Please stand and remain standing for both the Pledge of Allegiance as well as our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I would now like to introduce Caitlin Sauer to the stand.
Good morning, everyone. I am Caitlin Sauer, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2025. Before getting into the thick of everything, I would like to give thanks to the Board of Education, our graduation coordinator, Mrs. Kenny and Ms. Weber, our class advisors, Mrs. Sweat and Ms. Hugler, and everyone else who made today's ceremony possible. For many of us, today is nothing short of surreal. The senior class has been working hard towards graduating, and they have finally crossed the finish line. I bet some of us are still processing this, and that it still feels a bit impossible that we are leaving the place we have spent so many years in. It is an ending, and a big one at that. This can be scary, but as a door closes, another will open. So we are not only celebrating the completion of high school, but the start of the next step in everyone's lives. Because as American tennis player Arthur Ashe once said, your time is now. Start where you are, use what you do, and do what you can. And our time is now. It is now in this theater where we start our adult lives and use our many experiences to guide us. And thank you all for coming to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2025. Please welcome Jenna Carmody to the stage.
Few careers require as much heart, patience, and dedication as a life in education. The long days, early meetings, and of course, having to deal with students like us are no small feat. But one woman has taken it all in stride, Mrs. Erin Long. She has been in education for 32 years, and for the past 3, she has served as the superintendent of our school. She is the quiet strength behind so much of what makes Tri-Valley run. Even though you may not see her in the halls every day, without her, this school wouldn't function the way it does. When you do see her, it's almost always with a warm smile or a kind word. Despite leading a school filled with hundreds of students, she still takes time to learn our names and what matters to us, whether it's asking about a game or a meet or supporting the school play. On any important day, you can see Mrs. Long and her husband cheering in the stands. Mrs. Long always knew she wanted to be a teacher. She studied at Nazareth University and followed her passion even after her own father, a superintendent himself, warned her how challenging the path could be. She went on to build a lifelong career in education that has impacted countless students, including all of us here today. She considers her greatest accomplishment to be not only her career in education, but also being a mother of 2 sons and a grandmother to 3 grandchildren. Her dedication to her students goes beyond academics. She shows up for us. She supports us and genuinely cares. I know when I needed it most this year, she was there for me. I wouldn't have had the senior year without having her in my corner. Mrs. Long has become more than a leader. She's part of what makes Tri-Valley feel like home. On behalf of the senior class, thank you, Mrs. Long, for everything you've done for us. Now, it's my honor to welcome to the stage our superintendent, Mrs. Erin Long.
Welcome, and good morning to everyone joining us today. Families, faculty, friends, and most of all, the proud class of 2025. Today is a celebration, a moment to honor everything you've accomplished and everything that lies ahead. You have reached the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, and we could not be more proud of the young adults sitting before us today. Throughout your time here, you have grown in so many ways. You have faced challenges with resilience, expectations with hard work, and built relationships that will stay with you for a lifetime. You have learned not only how to succeed in the classroom, but how to be responsible, respectful citizens who contribute to something greater than yourselves. This graduating class is outstanding, not just for what you've done, but for who you've become. But you don't get to a moment like this on your own. Behind every graduate here today is a network of love, patience, encouragement, and unwavering support. To the parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, and loved ones in the audience, thank you. Thank you for cheering from the sidelines, staying up late to help with school projects, and offering words of wisdom, and sometimes just listening. Thank you for attending the school musicals and plays and concerts. Thank you for driving back and forth to practices and games and competitions. And thank you for always being in the audience to watch your child shine. To our Tri-Valley faculty and staff, you have gone above and beyond to help every student cross the finish line. Some walking confidently, others needing a bit more encouragement. And yes, a few of you were dragged across, kicking and screaming. No matter the path, we never gave up on you. Your belief in these students has helped shape their confidence, their resilience, and their success. This is your celebration too. This year we adopted a new mantra, many bears, one den. More than just words, it has become a reflection of who we are and what we stand for. It reminds us that although each of us bring our own background, your own goals, and your own voice, you are forever connected. You are part of a school community that believes in unity, support, and a shared strength. You've walked different paths, and you've built those paths alongside one another with respect, care, and pride. Now as you leave this place, remember the journey ahead is yours to shape. You will face choices, opportunity, and challenges that will test and define you. Let your actions reflect your values, let your words carry kindness, and let your decisions be grounded in purpose. And always find time for joy, for those are the moments that make life not only meaningful, but beautiful. As the great Jim Valvano once said, if you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. So go out and live full lives. Let your life be rich with thought, joy, and feeling. Class of 2025, carry your dreams with confidence, your lessons with pride, and your memories with gratitude. Wherever you go, lead with integrity, live with intention, and stay true to who you are. You have made us proud. Now go make the world proud. Congratulations. Please welcome our Pupil Personnel Director, Danielle Cornish.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here to celebrate the accomplishments of the Tri-Valley Class of 2025. As a veteran, it is a privilege to take part in this moment. At Tri-Valley, we are proud to uphold a meaningful tradition during this ceremony, recognizing the distinguished group of graduates who have been made the brave and selfless choice to serve in the United States Armed Forces. Their decision was not entered into lightly. Choosing to wear the uniform of our nation means choosing to sacrifice personal comfort, desires, and even safety for the greater good. These young men and women have committed themselves to a path of service, discipline, and honor so the rest of us can enjoy peace, freedom, and opportunity. Their futures will be filled with challenges many of us will never face. Members of the U.S. Armed Forces go where the danger is greatest and the need is most urgent. They willingly stand in harm's way so that others may live in safety. They are ready at all hours of day and night, prepared to defend the values we hold dear. Before we recognize our graduates who have answered this extraordinary call, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the veterans and active duty members who are here with us today. If you have served or are currently serving in the United States military, would you please rise so we may thank you for your service? Thank you. At this time, I invite the graduates of Tri-Valley's class of 2025 who have committed to serving in the armed forces to come forward. Each will be honored with a pin by a current or former member of the United States military. It is my pleasure to welcome Joseph Douglas and Dylan Poley to the center of the stage. Dylan is Joey's cousin and a class of 2023 Tri-Valley alumni. Dylan is a rising junior at the Virginia Military Institute. At VMI, he is a member of the football team, is involved in cadet government with the Cadet Equity Association, an active member of the Pre-Law Society, as well as a member of Phi Delta Phi, the most prestigious international legal honor society. Dylan is currently in the Army Reserve and planning on commissioning as an infantry officer post-graduation and attending Ranger School. Following his career in the Army, Dylan plans on attending law school. Joseph will be attending the Citadel Military Academy and plans to join the Air Force. Congratulations. I would now like to invite Ariana Small and Jason Kloss to step forward. Jason has served 2 years and 7 months in the Army as a light wheel vehicle mechanic, Fort Seward, Georgia, and Ariana will be joining in the Navy. At this time, I invite Caitlin Stungus and Stephen Borgon to step forward. Stephen is a Navy recruiter out of Middletown. He has 10 years of service as a material manager and stationed in Minoy Air Force Base, Scott Air Force Base, and Middletown, New York. Awarded 3 commendation medals, and Caitlin will be joining the Air Force. Finally, I would like to acknowledge Nicholas Bender, who is currently attending the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Thank you again, Joseph, Ariana, Caitlin, and Nicholas, for making Tri-Valley proud and for your commitment to serving our nation. Congratulations. Now I'd like to please welcome Allison Rogers and Chrissy Wachter.
It is such an honor to introduce our Salutatorian. We go way back. From as far as I can remember, Jenna has been an inspiration to many, including myself. She had the most songs memorized on the recorder, could always beat the boys at any race during bear break, and always had the most friends in elementary school. It is safe to say Jenna was the it girl. I, however, had only one thing above our Salutatorian. If you don't know what a squishy is, it was a very popular foam toy in 2018. I knew my way around the squishy trading economy, and that was my way into being friends with the Jenna Carmody. One day, I traded her an ultra-rare Millie the Whale squishy for some random other toys, and ever since then, I've had a COVID buddy, a physics tutor, a shoulder to cry on, and best of all, a best friend. I am so grateful to call Jenna my longtime best friend, and am beyond proud that she has achieved so much. I think Jenna has a hard time sometimes realizing all she has done. So let me tell you, she was on a travel softball team all of high school, is on her way to FBLA Nationals shortly after this graduation ceremony, is the kindest and most passionate person you'll ever meet, and is headed to New Paltz in the fall to play on their softball team. We have stayed friends this long without a single argument, even through my weird horse girl phase that I'm still experiencing, so I know we will be fine during our departure to college. I know you will do amazing things. Keep your head high and your Dunkin' run strong. I love you, Jen Jen.
Though I haven't been friends with Jenna quite as long as Chrissy, she has had just as much as of an impact on my life. We got close our sophomore year of high school, suffering through chemistry together. She is someone who isn't afraid to ask for help and is the first person to offer it back to someone in need. Though Jenna is younger than me, I find myself looking up to her both physically and as a person. She's never let her dedication to sports and academics overshadow her dedication to her friends and family. And no shade to Chrissy, but she's also the only person who will answer the 10,000 texts I send to our group chat within minutes. She shows kindness and grace to everyone, even people who haven't always given the same to her. I can confidently say I felt a little less alone in this world, knowing that I had Jenna Carmody by my side through it all. I love you, Jenna, and I'm so proud of you. So now, it is our pleasure to introduce to you your Section 9 Softball Player of the Year,
1,000-point scorer,
8th grade Poetry Slam winner,
your 2025 Salutatorian,
and our best friend, Jenna Carmody. Thank you, Chrissy and Allison. Good morning, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. I'm honored and humbled to be standing here in front of all of you. Each one of you has played a role in shaping the people you see here on this stage. You've impacted our lives more than you probably know. I know, without a doubt, how much this small town has impacted mine. When I started thinking about what message I wanted to leave you with, my mind went back to the lessons I've learned here at Tri-Valley, especially through sports. I could go on about the cliches we hear as athletes. It's better to go down swinging than to strike out looking. Work hard and an easy shot will come, or never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. But instead of offering a motivational quote, I want to focus on something deeper, something that is special to Tri-Valley, our sense of community. In my 18 years in this small corner of the Catskills, I've been surrounded by support, by people who show up. Our community shows up not just for games, but for people. Volunteers, coaches, teachers, neighbors, parents. You give your time, your effort, and your hearts. The impact of this small town might not make national headlines, but it leaves a lasting imprint on the people who grow up here. I remember sitting in a crowd at a graduation just like this one, listening to a speech about the Never Sink fruit stand. You take the fruit, leave the money in the jar. Simple, right? But that stand represents more than a transaction. It's built on trust. It's a quiet but powerful example of how our community operates, on honesty, on decency, and on doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. That's the Tri-Valley way. We may not have a fancy indoor track, stadium lights, or turf fields, but what we do have is a library filled with Christmas presents for families in need. We have a Stuff the Bus event for local food banks. We have teachers who stay late to help you study, classmates who actually know your name, and families that will show up to your games, even if it's 2 hours away and in a rainstorm. I'm thankful for the support system that I have been blessed with. My amazing family gives me reason to keep on showing up and striving for success. I can't forget Mrs. Donna Brooks, who's always there at sporting events to cheer us on, or to give us a coffee and a sweet treat to keep us going. My coaches, who believed in me and encouraged me. In the wise words of Coach Kloss, get on the line. Sorry, I mean show up and get a little better each and every day. This held true in our sectional championship win this season, which was a highlight of my year. There are countless memories that I can recall throughout my time here that I would consider highlights. Taking home the bear in Miss Barnard's kindergarten class, playing limbo in Miss Cox's 5th grade class, and throwing sponges at your teachers' faces on fun day, while flexing your newest temporary tattoos. All of these memories I share with many of you. Coming from a small school, we're not just classmates. We're part of each other's stories. We know each other's names, hobbies, probably even where you live. That connection is rare, and it's something I hope none of us take for granted. We've been brought together by this school, and now, as we move on, we are bound by our memories. I think back to our kindness rocks that are by the elementary school entrance. Travis, your inspirational words, "Be happy like this rainbow," have always stuck with me. Chrissy, Abby, Chloe, Ariana, I still have all of our sneaker night selfies that we unfortunately posted in the 6th grade. I'll never forget the Scholastic Book Fair, where we spent our parents' book funds on literally anything but a book. And certainly the best time of the year, when the Animal Lovers Club would sell reindeer dust, stuffed animals, and fun pom-pom pencils. It's crazy to think that the mad scientist, dry ice, and giant bubble stunts have now turned into Mr. McAuliffe's chem and physics classes. And it's even crazier to think that our Bear Award assemblies on the Hill have now turned into a graduation ceremony. As many of you may know, I'm passionate about sports. But what I've come to realize is that everything I've learned from athletics, discipline, leadership, teamwork, was shaped by this community. I am who I am because of the volunteer coaches who taught me to love the game. From ASO soccer with Mrs. McGregor to my final varsity season with Mrs. McGregor. I am who I am because of the teammates who taught me to lead and to follow. Due to the people of the Tri-Valley community who cheered me on even when the scoreboards didn't. Sports taught me something essential. Talent means nothing without teamwork. And in many ways, this community works the same way. A team doesn't win unless everyone buys in, not just for themselves, but for each other. The people of Neversink and Grahamsville are quick to donate their time, their energy, even their money to help one another. They rally behind those facing tragedy. They lift each other up. We are not just neighbors and peers, we are teammates in every sense of the word. This chapter of my story, this chapter of our story, ends here at Tri-Valley, but everything that comes next will be built on the foundation we've laid here. The character, the kindness, the selflessness, and the sense of pride that's unique to our town. Whether you're off to college, joining the military, entering the workforce, or still figuring things out, I hope you carry this place with you. I hope you remember the values that shaped you, and one day, I hope you come back. Bring your talents, your experience, your stories. Share them with the next generation of Tri-Valley kids who will one day sit where we are now. To the class of 2025, thank you for being my teammates, my friends, and my family. And to Tri-Valley, thank you for building us into who we are. Congratulations, and here's to whatever comes next. Please welcome to the podium William Seward.
Good evening, families, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. Tonight we come together to honor the class of 2025, a class that has shown strength, determination, and heart. Graduation is a time to look back on the challenges we've overcome and to look ahead at the journeys that are just beginning. Our senior chorus will now share a song that speaks perfectly to this moment. Go the Distance from Hercules. It's a song about believing in yourself, chasing your dreams, and finding the courage to keep moving forward no matter how far the road may seem. Please join me in welcoming the Tri-Valley Senior Chorus as we perform Go the Distance.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though that road may wander, it would lead me to you. And 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through. And I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. Like a shooting star, I will go the distance. I will reach the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong.
Good morning, everyone. This speech may become more of a list than an actual speech because of how much he's accomplished. It is our honor and privilege to introduce one of the best, one of the smartest people I know. William has basically done it all. Valedictorian, scholar athlete, massive pain in the butt to anyone that knows him. William plays a ton of roles. He's an Eagle Scout, a member of National Honor Society, and somehow still found the time to surpass our whole grade with his academic average. Being one of the most competitive students and friends that I have, I will always be humble because of him. Not that it happens very often, but once in a blue moon, when I finally get a higher grade than him, he always tells me, "Too bad your average still sucks. Maybe one day you'll be as smart as me." He's very humble, if you couldn't tell. But because of all of his accomplishments, he probably has more reason than anyone here to say that.
That does sound like a lot like William. Anyways, if you've ever talked to him, you would know that there's a 90% chance that he's correcting you or he's trying to explain something that no one asked about. But that's what makes him William. Ridiculously smart, overly competitive, and a bit over the top. And somehow, he's still one of the most reliable and so supportive people I know. He's the only person I know who could crush an AP exam, carry out a group project on his own, and still find the time to lecture me on why Valorant is clearly superior to Fortnite, even though we both know he's wrong. But the truth is, behind all the sarcasm and the constant need to win, William is someone who shows up for his friends, for his community, and for every challenge thrown his way. He's worked hard every single day, not just for his grades or recognition, but because he refuses to settle for anything less than excellent. And that's what makes him different, and that the fact that you probably already found 3 things to critique me about on this speech. So without further ado, please help us welcome the 2025 Valedictorian, William Seward.
Thank you so much, Jay and Brandon, for the introduction. Your friendships have meant so much to me. 14 years ago, we were faced with a challenge. Something new, something unlike anything we had ever faced before. It was such a scary and daunting prospect, to do something completely new, meet people you didn't know if you would like, be forced to share your toys with other kids. Ew. But after that initial fear, it really wasn't that bad. It was exciting, really. We got to learn about textures, how to sing the ABCs, how to count to 100. We got to have bear break on a giant wooden playground that looked like a castle. Well, until it was torn down. I'm still mad about that. But most importantly, we got to make friendships and bonds with kids that we would spend the next 14 years with. Some may hate it, but I'm so glad that we got to grow up in a small school because it meant that I got to know all of you. Even if we've never talked much, I still know I have a memory of each of you that I will cherish forever. And that is what I find the most beautiful about our school. And don't get me wrong, I know our grade isn't the most united. I mean, we only had 6 kids going on the senior trip. But for me, I wouldn't have wanted to graduate with any other class besides this one. Last summer, I worked for the tech department, and one of our jobs was to go around to all of the classrooms and inventory the equipment that they had in each room. And it was such a surreal experience to go back and visit all of my old classrooms after so long that I couldn't help but reminisce on our past. So many things were exactly as we left them. That little table in the elementary cafeteria where we'd put all of our trays and throw out our garbage. All those little rugs with ABCs on them. The library, the ag room, all of them were still there. But it's also changed a lot too. The hill where we used to go for assemblies, it's still there, but those big giant boxes that we used to play on, they're gone. The art room has moved. The gym got a huge makeover. The pavilion that we used to sit at and talk about who knows what isn't there anymore. And it's not just the physical things that have changed, but some of the teachers too. There are so many new faces and names, but you know what? That's a good thing. Different teachers means different teaching styles, different viewpoints and ways of looking at the world being passed on to new students. But even still, sometimes I see my old teachers like Mrs. Comfort, Mrs. Goldstein, Mrs. Hembold, and even though they have had at least 10 years of other classes after me, they still somehow remembered me. And it really made me think. People, things, places, memories, they all change. We change. We leave here and the class of 2039 comes in to take our place. Because, my friends, my large and disjointed family, life continues to go on. The world continues to spin. But we aren't just simply forgotten. Because everywhere you go, you will leave behind a legacy. You will be remembered by all those around you. Because I assure you, in some way, shape, or form, You have affected their lives. You constantly make an impression on all those you meet, be it through your smile, your charm, your posture, tone of voice, work ethic. All of this and more is what you show to the world. It is what you will be remembered by. Your actions become your legacy, and when you create your legacy, you are creating your gift to the world that will last for generations. So put in that extra 5 minutes of time, that little bit of extra effort, because in the end, you should be proud of that legacy, that gift you leave to the world. And if you aren't truly proud of that legacy, then what are you going to do? Continue as you are, or change something so that you will be? Your legacy has only just begun, and at this point, you can sculpt it into whatever you want it to be. I mean, the great thing about high school is that once you leave, you can start over and be whoever you want to be. Now you have had some experience, and now you have the knowledge to control your fate. Oh, my friends, how are people going to remember you? I know how I will remember you. I'll remember being on the half-day short bus with Evelyn, Billy, and a bunch of others having the time of our life. I'll remember having a headache on the lunch line in kindergarten and Hunter trying to tell everyone to be quiet so my head didn't hurt as much. I remember competing with Maya for who had the most popsicle sticks in our jar to determine who could go to bear break first. I'll remember everyone competing for who could make the best turkey story and accompanying picture in 2nd grade. I'll remember David, Hannah, and I constantly talking during class in 3rd grade. I'll remember Billy, Brandon, Vincent, Lauren, Wyatt, and I playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 4th grade during lunch. I'll remember the invention fair in 5th grade where we all showed off our great 10-year-old minds. I'll remember me, Bryn, and a couple of others talking during Mrs. Capielis' class while we sewed stuffed animals, and Mr. Ballard making everyone take off a shoe if they needed to borrow a pen. I'll always remember 7th grade, the year where the world and all of our lives changed when a 2-week vacation turned into a year-long worldwide pandemic. I remember Brenton, Chrissy, Jay, and I being fully remote in 8th grade. I remember coming back to school in 9th, and everyone that I used to know looking and acting completely different. And Allie and Abby calling me kitten for the next 4 years. I'll constantly remember competing with Jay, Nick, and Jenna for the best grades in the class, even just to get that 1 point more than the other. I'll remember everyone's excitement of getting their driver's license for the first time. I'll remember all of our laughs, all of our smiles, all of our accomplishments. I'll remember all of our memories, and of course all of our complaining. I will remember us as a family, and I want to say thank you, for I wouldn't be who I am today without the experiences that I've had with each of you. 14 long years, whether you joined Tri-Valley part way a little late, or if you were here from the start. We got through because we had each other and the ever so dedicated teachers and staff of this school. The amount of effort and care that our teachers put into our education is astounding, and I will always be grateful for that. We would not be here if it wasn't for all of you. Now, my friends, if you're all still around in 20 years, I better see you at our high school reunion. So go out, be free, live, have fun, and forge your legacy for the new age. I cannot wait to hear about it. Thank you. Please welcome Chrissy Wachter.
Although I have had a lot of high school principals in my time at Tri-Valley, I think it's safe to say that we saved the best for last. This is because even though Miss Eberly has such a busy schedule, and I mean a very busy schedule, she always makes time for her students and staff members. For me specifically, I've had a really rough senior year. However, Miss Eberly allowed me to come into her office no matter how busy she was. If she was in online meetings or had a lot of emails to answer, it didn't matter. She let me talk to her and rant to her no matter what the situation was, whether it was about drama with friends, animals I've had taken in, or simply just a conversation. She was always there to listen and to put her input in. I know she has done this for countless other students other than just me, and has truly changed the lives of many students at Tri-Valley and those around her. It is such a pleasure to be here today to introduce her to you all. She has done so much from making sure we have a fun senior prank, to a good competition night, to even planning a last-minute senior trip for everyone to be included. It is so evident that she cares about every person here at the school, and I could go on and on about everything she's ever done for us. Thank you for the memories, the laughs, the deep talks, and advice. I could spend hours speaking about how valuable you are to me and everyone in this theater, but without further delay, let me introduce my beautiful Sparkle and our principal, Mrs. Amanda Eberly.
Good morning, families, faculty, and most importantly, the class of 2025. First, let me say how proud I am of each and every one of you. Today is a celebration of your accomplishments, your perseverance, and yes, our collective ability to drag some of you across the finish line. But don't worry, we're not naming any names, but you know who you are. As Dr. Seuss once said, you're off to great places, today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. And let me tell you, some of you treated that mountain like a steep climb in Crocs, but you still made it. This year has been filled with incredible memories, and let's be honest, a few wild rides, literally. Some of you were convinced to ride roller coasters for the first time, and I'm sure questioning those life choices. And some of us are still gaining our hearing back from the screams, Miss Weber. The Bear Den has seen it all, deep discussions, some pictures I won't mention, occasional drama, and more wisdom than most people gain in a lifetime. Or at least that's what you told me while you were skipping class. You all kept Duncan and our very own Barista Bears in business with your caffeine dependency. I'm convinced some of you ran on espresso and pure adrenaline during those last few weeks, or even after some concerts. Perhaps maybe this morning some extra was needed. You also pushed me out of my comfort zone this year. Thanks to FFA, I learned way more than I ever wanted to about animals, nature, and things that moo or cluck. I've come to accept that yes, that's normal, is the standard response when it comes to livestock behavior. The lingo you've taught me. Half the time I had to smile and nod like I understood what drippy, cringe, or riz meant. Spoiler, I didn't and still don't. And a public service announcement. There are bathrooms for a reason, bro. The office plants are not the answer, especially 5 minutes before an admin meeting. But through it all, you have grown into passionate, thoughtful, hilarious, and kind young adults. You've shown resilience, heart, and a whole lot of personality. I want to leave you with this one last piece of advice. You may have seen this quote floating around this year, and I think it fits. Let them. If they want to underestimate you, let them. If they want to doubt you, let them. And then go out there and show them what you're really made of. Because we know, we've seen it, you are strong, capable, and more than ready for whatever comes next. So as you step forward into your next chapter, whether it's college, career, or something uniquely your own, just know that wherever the world takes you, there will always be a place for you back here at Tri-Valley. Whether it's a hug, a hype up from Mr. Fantini, or a pretzel rod and a juice box, we will always be here cheering you on. Now go out there, be bold, be kind, be you, and continue to make us proud. Congratulations, class of 2025. It was an honor being your principal. Please welcome our senior class advisors, Tanya Hugler and Deborah Sweat.
A community is stronger when everyone works together. As a school, we value and encourage students to be active in their community, and this strengthens them as individuals and as human beings. Many members of this class have embraced the idea of community service and volunteerism, and some have excelled. Students who have completed and documented 50 or more hours of community service are recognized here at graduation. This year, the class of 2025 documented over 10,679 hours of volunteerism. The following graduates are wearing a volunteerism medal to recognize their exemplary community service efforts. Please rise when I call your name and remain standing until all names have been read. William Graham Jr., 51 hours. Abigail Roof, 51 hours. Hayden Sanders, 52 hours. Chloe Geelan, 56 hours. Summer Decker, 60.5 hours. Jenna Carmody, 70 hours. Ashley Rock, 70 hours. Nicholas Bender, 72.5 hours. Madison Kirkpatrick, 74 hours. Liliana Morton Curry, 75 hours. Isabella Maori, 76.5 hours. Bryn Poley, 76.5 hours. Misha Kodakovsky, 79 hours. Gary Haddon, 84 hours. Andrew Franson, 85 hours. Lauren Stoutenberg V, 99 hours. Ethan Whitted, 99.5 hours. Adam Olson, 109 hours. Nicholas Altman, 113 hours. Dyra Kujakali, 123 hours. William Seward, 128.25 hours. Caitlin Sauer, 133.5 hours. Taylor Drake, 144 hours. Van Furman, 144.5 hours. Jocelyn Flores Galeas, 153.5 hours. Katie Dow, 158 hours. Georgia Kinney, 206 hours. Brandon Hugler, 216 hours. Devin Callahan, 217.5 hours. Christoph Angelo Guanzon, 363.25 hours. Joseph Douglas, 424 hours. Josephine Dertinger, 451.9 hours. Eden Noren, 556 hours. Ariana Small, 701.4 hours. Chrissy Wachter, 1,071.25 hours. Allison Rogers, 1,432.84 hours. And Maya Ibarra, 1,683.1 hours. You may be seated.
The President's Award for Educational Excellence is given to students who have an average over 90 and received a score at or above the 85th percentile in math or reading on the SAT or ACT. The following students have met this prestigious achievement. Please rise when I call your name and remain standing until all names have been read. Nicholas Bender. Misha Kodakovsky. Caitlin Sauer. And William Seward. You may be seated. We have one more special award to give today. Many of you may know the RGB studio, and there is one person whose voice you all know. On behalf of Tri-Valley Secondary School, I would like to present a certificate of appreciation for their dedication to the development of RGB studios to Nicholas Altman. Please welcome Christoph Guanzon.
Aloha. Okay. At Tri-Valley, one of our core values is community. Here we are taught, we learn, and we strive to integrate community and community service into our daily lives. For those who seek out such service, they must be generous and kind. Today, we will hear from someone who strives to benefit his community. Raised on Staten Island, Mr. Keith Stryker showed his devotion to his community by serving in the New York City Police Department. After retirement and moving to the town of Neversink with his family, Mr. Stryker continued to demonstrate his dedication to others. With both feet planted in this new community, he quickly involved himself with various clubs and volunteer opportunities, all while coming out of retirement to work for the town of Neversink as their code enforcement officer. Recently retired from that post too. Mr. Stryker continued his work with various club activities and his Board of Education service. Mr. Stryker has served on the Board of Education for 5 years and the last 3 years as our president. In addition to leading our Board of Education, Mr. Stryker is also Vice President for the Sullivan Community BOCES Board of Education. Mr. Stryker has shown that retirement once or twice doesn't have to mean a separation from community. Rather, there is a greater opportunity to become an integral part of the community through service. This morning, please help us to welcome Mr. Keith Stryker to the podium to speak with us as we graduate and journey out into the world.
Good morning, Tri-Valley class of 2025 and guests. It is an honor for me to speak to our graduates this morning. Some of you will be happy to remember that I am from the 3B School of Speech Making. Be brief, be good, and be gone. I will be brief, and soon you will be celebrating your accomplishments and years of hard work. This morning, I speak simply about success. Winston Churchill, at the conclusion of World War II, had been asked to speak about the reasons for his success leading his country, not through its darkest hours, but its finest, and ultimately winning World War II. Churchill, known for his oratory skills and the length of those skills, stood up, went to the podium, and in that great accent you all have heard at some point in time, said, "I have been asked to speak about the reasons for my success in leading our country. The reasons for that success are as follows: never give in, never give in, never give in. Thank you," and he sat down. Very uncharacteristic for Mr. Churchill, but he knew his audience well. One of the quotes I have come to appreciate is from the artist Emile Zola. "I have been asked, what have I come into this world to do? Let me tell you, I have come to live out loud. I have come to live out loud." And that is what I encourage you to do, to live your life out loud. The education that you have received here at Tri-Valley has prepared you wonderfully, comprehensively, and now go forward to live out your life. You will choose how that life is to be led. Sometimes there will be obstacles in front of you that hopefully you overcome, but if you don't, continue as Churchill did and never give in, just keep moving forward. There are several Chinese expressions I would like to share to form the rest of my remarks. The first is, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Well, today is the beginning of your journey into your adult lives. It is a journey that you have looked forward to and one that you will ultimately determine a success or a failure. The second is that you live in interesting times. We live in interesting times. The challenges that you face, we have not faced in 2, maybe 3 generations. We are a country at war. We are dealing with incredible issues here at home of immigration, economy, tensions, and politics. We are an unsettled country in an unsettled world. 40 years ago, I joined the New York City Police Department, and it was also an interesting time, an extraordinary time. We were a country that had really lost our way. And as I entered the New York City Police Department, it was a challenging time for my profession, being asked to change, as so much of America's society was being asked to change. And I was fortunate during that time, as I entered a profession that was not a good one, with too much corruption, too much brutality, and too much racial insensitivity. A profession that had lost its way, and over a number of years, I was very frustrated with that profession and came close to leaving it. But through education and not giving in, I benefited in ways that my department, my country, and the many men and women that I served with have benefited from that education, as the world will hopefully benefit from yours. As you leave here today, you have the opportunity to live your lives out loud. And you are fortunate to live in a country that allows you to make that choice. I encourage you to live your life out loud. I encourage you to embrace Mahatma Gandhi, the great Indian civil rights leader, whose words influenced me for much of my life. To create change, you must become the change. I encourage you with the great gifts you now have and the diploma you are about to receive. You will acknowledge that you don't squander those gifts, the gifts that you worked so hard for, that your family sacrificed so much for. Rather, I encourage that 40 years from now, and believe me, those 40 years will go by very quickly, that you do not look back. You don't cheat yourself for those 40 years, so that when you do look back, you don't find you're saying, I wish. Rather, you say, I did, and I am successful. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Thank you.
At this time, we will have Keith Stryker and Miss Erin Long join us in the presentation of diplomas. Yep. Please feel free to applaud your graduate as we call his or her name. Evelyn Allison, presented by Patricia Allison. Jonathan Allison, presented by Tim Diamond. Nicholas Altman. Nathan Babcock. Nicholas Bender. Nicholas received his diploma at senior celebration prior to his departure at the Air Force Academy. Up next, Devin Callahan. Travis Capuana. Jenna Carmody, presented by Tim Diamond. Dyra Kuji Cali. Colby Dams. Katie Dow. Summer Decker. Josephine Dertinger. Joseph Douglas, presented by Kerry Poley. Taylor Drake. Jake Edwards. Joshua Fanslow. Joshua Fisk. Jocelyn Flores Galeas. Chloe Geelan. Oh, found it. Here, Chloe. Chloe, we've got it. Go ahead. Chloe Geelan. Nicholas Foley. Andrew Franson. Van Furman. David Gutchis Rosado. William Graham, Jr. Jasmine Gramilla. Christoph Angelo Guanzon. Gary Haddon. Savannah Hogue. Brandon Hugler. Maya Ibarra. Misha Kodakovsky. Georgia Kinney. Madison Kirkpatrick, presented by Carrie Poley. Shane LaForge, presented by Carrie Poley. Dallas Lapolte. Isabella Maori. Joseph Metz. Hannah Miller. Wyatt Morton. Liliana Morton Curry. Bo Muller. Tabitha Maholland. Eden Noren. Adam Olson, presented by Carrie Poley. Jay Patel. Cecilia Poggi, presented by Carrie Poley. Bryn Poley, presented by Carrie Poley. Ashley Rock. Allison Rogers. Talise Rogers. Abigail Roof, presented by Carrie Poley. Kalia Sanders. Hayden Sanders. Caitlin Sauer. Easton Scanna. Braden Scott. William Seward. Ariana Small. Lauren Stoutenberg V. Caitlin Stungus. Maya Torres. Matthew Trohan. Molly Van Etten. Chrissy Wachter, presented by Carrie Poley. Zachary Whipple. Ethan Whitted. John Woods Jr., presented by Rose Woods. Hunter Yeager, presented by Thomas Yeager. William, you want to join us in the front? It is our pleasure to present to you for the first time Tri-Valley's 2025 graduates. You may all be seated. Please welcome to the podium Isabella Maori.
Thank you all so much for coming together and joining us to celebrate the class of 2025 and all of their accomplishments. Following the ceremony, you may join us in the main gym for some hugs, tears, photos, and final goodbyes. Congratulations again to my classmates, and good luck. As you leave the theater, you may exit back down the main hall or to the left and use the outside stairs. Please rise as the graduates leave the theater. Thank you.